What's up, y'all? Kyle Hamilton here. I want to give a quick shout out to Lucas, Connor, and Ryan in the Week 0 podcast.
Jackson rolling out, 3rd and 7 after the penalty, and it's a completion to Kuma. He's still running. Kuma breaks free against a tired defense as the Hokies deliver the dagger here in Tallahassee. Empty look for Richardson. Oh, that is danger! Oh my! Keidron Smith cuts inside, and he's gonna pick 6 it in the swamp. Cat scratch fever Smith.
DJ is picked off, intercepted again by Benjamin Morrison. Here goes Morrison down the sideline. Can he go? Yes, he can. Touchdown, pick 6, Benjamin Morrison. Nix drops back underneath. Touchdown, Ducks. Wow. Chase Taylor.
Connor's muted. Damn it.
God damn it.
Oh, no.
Okay. Always muted.
Oh, man.
Ryan, I'm fine. Welcome to the Week 0 podcast. I'm your host, Top Left Box. Very happy VT man / Drone Strikes. The supposed to be host. Of course, Ryan decides to
What?
let me host. What?
Insanity. Keep going.
You said I could be the host. And then Ryan
Oh my gosh.
throwing a bitch fit about Louisville. That's what his name is about. He's pissed about that. I'm sure we'll be talking about that. Josh, he's Forrest Gump. He's actually dressed up as Forrest Gump for Halloween today.
I'm not.
You should have been. Honestly, you should have been. And then of course Phil, Connor has been filming practices at for Central Michigan as well. Now the ball boys being involved. It's the whole thing. I'm surprised he didn't dress up like with a camera and stuff.
I thought about it.
Dude, I'm surprised nobody became. Yeah, why is there no stallions? Was someone dressed up? We need someone dressed up as stallions. Coach Prime.
I should just
Lincoln
get
Riley.
I wish Josh.
Hold on. Connor, I gotta use something here. Hold on. What's up, guys?
Coach Prime.
There you go. Okay. So
I got
let's start
receipts.
off first things first. I
What
guess
are them receipts?
Ryan, let me take care of this. So first things first, we'll just get into this real quick. Georgia Tech stings North Carolina with their second straight loss. Georgia Tech's also had one of the weirdest 4 weeks that I've ever seen. I saw a tweet. I'm gonna try and find it while you guys talk about this. Talk amongst yourselves. What are your thoughts about this?
I'll let Josh go with it first.
Georgia Tech won another game. Oh man. How terrible is the ACC?
They're not bad. They're not good.
How terrible is the ACC? That's not good, man. That's not good. You got Pitt beating Louisville. You got Georgia Tech beating UNC. What's going on? Clemson's 4-4. What's happening?
Okay. Here, I found this tweet. I'll read this. It's a very long tweet, but I'll read this real quick. They've only won the Georgia Tech has only won in their even numbered games. So their games have come in games 2, 4, 6, and 8. Game 10 is Clemson. Game 12 is Georgia. Second, they've played 3 ranked teams. All of them were the 17th ranked team in the AP poll. Ole Miss, Miami, North Carolina. They are 2-1 in those games. Their last 4 games were an 11-point loss to Bowling Green, a win over Miami, 15-point loss to Boston College, and a win over North Carolina. They have, in that game against Miami, they had no points in the first and third quarter. All 46 of their points came in the second and the fourth. They've also scored exactly 254 points and allowed 254 points on the season. So they are allowing 31.8 points per game and scoring 31.8 points per game. And they are perfectly balanced, mediocre team. Georgia Tech is right now. It truly does not make sense.
I am reviving a meme from our first week. Yeah. So see if you can go on to
pretty much. Pretty
Yeah.
much. That's kind of how it is. The ACC.
Yeah. Here, let me go on and pull this
No,
up.
I'd like to imagine Virginia Tech's just like in the corner, just kind of like watching it all going down, just like waiting to pounce now.
Yeah, let me help our audience here.
So while he pulls it up, Phil, I mean, any other things to talk about besides ACC sucks?
Yeah, I think it is interesting that Georgia Tech right now has a better resume than the third-ranked team in the CFP. They have better wins
you said
than
it, not
Michigan
me.
right now.
You said
No,
it,
that's
not
a
me.
fact. It's a fact. They do have better wins than us right now. That said, I mean, I don't understand. Like a team like North Carolina, who still had things to play for. Maybe the CFP before this game was like a long shot because they'd already lost one, but and being that they're not, Florida State, then we know they weren't going to get back into that thing. But I think this, speaking of Antoine, who's up here now, his comment is anyway, he's brought this up on several occasions that this thing is a popularity contest and scheduling, tough competition outside of your conference doesn't really make sense because in the end, if you go undefeated and win your conference, especially if you're in the SEC or the Big Ten, you're probably going to be in the CFP. So there's that.
That's fair.
And,
I mean, I feel like that's kind of true. But I mean, you still had to have some sort of chaos happen for like teams like Cincinnati and Washington to make it in years past. You know what I mean? Where one or two leagues just completely obliterate their own chances. So I guess that makes sense. Obviously, now when it expands to 12, that'll change. I think.
Yeah.
So you can definitely suffer. I wouldn't be surprised if next year, just speaking, we'll get a 2-loss team to at least make the team and make it at least,
Oh, I think it's without a doubt that's going to happen.
I think. You know what I mean? Guaranteed.
Sure. Oh, for sure.
Ryan, by the way, you have been ducking Mello in your bet.
Because I want to appeal that game still, man. I'm still in the mindset. I want to appeal. You know what?
Ryan
this is
just can't accept.
we got
He just
Dr.
can't
Phil.
accept anything.
We got Dr. Phil. We need Judge Phil. Like we need us to go on trial here. Yeah.
Yo, Phil, why didn't you trade the Josh Jacobs to the Ravens? Just real quick. I see you wearing your Raiders beanies. I was just wondering.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm wearing this actually today. I should burn this thing today.
Hey, thank you for selling, Phil. Now we're tied for the division.
When it rains, it pours, Phil.
right.
Well, the funny thing is, neither the Raiders nor the Broncos actually sold because they wanted more than what people were willing to offer, which is kind of hilarious.
It's disgusting, man. To be a Raider fan right now is the most frustrating thing in the world. But I digress.
Oh, Phil, I was misconceived. I thought to be a Raider fan was pain all the time.
It's that. It is certainly that.
Okay.
It is definitely.
All right, let's get into the next one.
Well, I think we should stay in the ACC because I feel like we have
Louisville. You
Louisville.
know my thoughts on this.
Oh my gosh, both of you.
No,
they are not serious contenders when they lose to Virginia Tech next week. Let's go.
Serious ACC contender.
Will Levis is
like serious ACC pretender. I honestly think this Louisville team is just a bunch of like styrofoam and like signs that are like propped up, stuff like that. It's, we're big and scary. They're not. I think that is not discounting Braum or anything that he brings to the table. It's okay. It's not discounting Braum or anything that he brings to the table. It's just that Plummer is just not the guy. He's not Braum's guy. So they got a lot of good players, a lot of good, big plays. It's just you can bottle that up. They're not very good. And we saw them get bottled up versus Pitt. And I want one of you to look me in the eyes and tell me seriously that Pitt is a good football team.
Well, Ryan's definitely not saying that when he's
We dropped a 50 burger. They got a 50 burger dropped on them, and Louisville lost to them by what, 17? That's crazy.
Yeah, but no, seriously, ACC contender after beating the Blue Devils. Let's not kid ourselves. Riley Leonard was hurt. Was playing hurt, so I don't think they got 100%. I don't think they got 100% of Duke. Plus, that was at Louisville as well. So I think that
and what's hilarious is
the only player that scares me for them is Jahar Jordan. That's
literally all they have. Well, Jamari Thrash is pretty decent.
Yeah, Thrash is he's a playmaker. Definitely.
I mean, I'm just glad I have Jordan on my fantasy team. He's been helping carry me in past couple of weeks.
Lucas, I'm about to put you in timeout, bro.
So, I mean, obviously, my team VT plays at Louisville this week. It's a good
I didn't see them
test
on the CFP.
So it's a good barometer test, I think, for Virginia Tech because there's a lot of good vibes around
Connor,
the program.
I swear to God, if you don't beat Louisville,
that would be the most Louisville thing ever. They beat a top 10 Notre Dame team.
You know what would be crazy though?
And then lose to Pitt and Virginia Tech, who are just kind of mid this year.
Louisville would lose to Virginia Tech, and somehow the committee would be like,
I don't know.
They're not going to be above Notre Dame, Ryan. They're not going to be that stupid, but they'll, you know what I mean? But like, I mean, yes, I definitely think it's
Antoine's
benefit because Riley
Antoine's out here realizing something. It's always been that way, Hoss. Always. If you do schedule a hard competition, you may not get the credit you deserve, and you assume all of the risk. It's always been that way. That's why the SEC doesn't want 10 game seasons.
All right.
That's why they don't. That's why the SEC never schedules out of conference, non-conference games anymore, like Power 5.
Oh, I don't know. Florida did. They figured it out.
Oh, Florida did, and it didn't work out. And it kind
of
worked out.
All in agreement that Louisville is a pretender in the ACC.
I feel that way. What do you feel?
I'm sorry. What was the question?
Is Louisville a pretender or contender for the ACC?
I think they're a contender. They have to be. They have to be considered a contender. What's left for them, right? Like, they're gonna go and they're gonna beat VT. Sorry, Connor. They're gonna beat them.
You're gonna make him cry on stream.
I know. And then we saw Boston College give Florida State, a run for the heck. Florida State needed to like win that game at the end, or hold on anyway. So. Anything can happen in the ACC. Florida State has been in a couple tussles that we wouldn't expect. So
I mean, they didn't take a lead against Duke until the fourth quarter,
right? Yeah. So I think that you have to consider Louisville a contender in the ACC just based on what the form we've seen from Florida State.
Okay, and next we'll finish this out. Clemson now 4-4. Dabo, according to Ryan, goes off on a little kid who was not a little kid. It was probably a high schooler or a college student, and he doesn't like Dabo now because apparently he was a little too mean. But I know for a fact,
it's not that I don't like Dabo.
For a fact, Coster says he does not want Dabo Sweeney as the head coach anymore, which is kind of hilarious because
who said that?
Kind of Andrew Coster.
He's our former host.
The guy we used to do this with. He said he's done with Dabo, and I'm like,
wow.
Dude. You've had 10 straight before this season, 12 straight 10-win seasons under Dabo, which I think there's only been like 2 or 3 other teams that have ever done that.
How spoiled is that thing?
And now you have one bad season where you're going to go, where you're 4-4, going to get maybe 7-8 wins, and all of a sudden you're throwing a bitch fit saying, oh, get rid of him. Sure, Dabo is antiquated in his thinking at times, especially with the transfer portal and the recruiting's down and stuff. But like, you're so spoiled that I would take Dabo. I would want to hire. There's like 130, 125 schools in the FBS that would probably take Dabo over.
I don't know if you would want Dabo now in today's climate, because I think
that's a fair point that Ryan's making.
I think he's a great coach, the best to ever do it. but I think
At Clemson.
yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. But what I'm thinking is that it's just if he's that stubborn to where he's just not going to get with the times. I mean, let's be real. Nick Saban, the reason Nick Saban is so great is because he develops with the times. You know, he was very anti NIL, very anti transfer portal, but he kind of got over it because it's like, well, you know what? I'm going to do whatever it takes to win, and that's what you do. And if Dabo is going to just say, okay, well, I don't want to go transfer portal, I think in the interview I watched listened to the entire thing, and he said something about there are certain things that I have beliefs in because I think it will hurt the future of my team. Well, that's your problem. That I mean, if I'm Clemson, I'm like, okay, you know what? What if Clemson misses a bowl game this year? They could very easily miss a bowl game. I mean, they play what? Notre Dame, South Carolina, North Carolina. They play North Carolina, I believe, at North Carolina. I can't remember who the other game is.
Oh, they play South Carolina at South Carolina.
Yeah. So I mean, this could get ugly. I mean, I think that the best thing here is because I don't think Clemson will ever have the goal to fire Dabo because I think it's one of those things where it's like he built that thing up, which he gets credit for. I think it's just more of like a parting of ways thing where Clemson said, hey, we respect what you've done with the university. We appreciate everything you've done for us, but it's just we want to move forward in the future of our program. And if you're not going to get out of this way of thinking, then maybe this isn't the best place for you. I mean,
but he also probably has a contract that would prevent that from happening unless he agrees to outright leave like that and resign. So
go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I think I agree with portions of what Ryan was saying. I do think his approach is antiquated. So I'm not sure that, as Connor was saying, like 100+ teams would take, although it might be 100+, because it's a lot of bad teams, would take Dabo. I'll say this. There aren't a bunch of Power 5 teams that would be at least top level Power 5 teams that would be lining up to take Dabo, right? Like, I believe that. I do believe that Dabo is a good coach. I think if his thinking changes a little bit, that he's redeemable. I also agree with what he said. I don't have a problem with what he said to that fan. I think college football fans are unrealistic, Ryan. And this guy calling up there saying what he had to say, with Dabo's resume as Dabo laid it out for him, that needed to be said. Like, some reality needs to be struck into some of these people, bro. Like, before I got here, you were a dumpster fire. Before I got here, Florida State was running away with this ACC, and it was by a lot, right?
Virginia Tech, it was Florida State and Virginia Tech were the top ACC schools until Dabo was there, really.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I think that needed to be said.
My issue isn't really with what Dabo said, but I think this was something you should have said maybe last year or the year before. Because one bad year is forgivable. 2 bad years, okay, whatever. 3 bad years. When I'm talking about bad years, I'm talking about what Clemson fans think is a bad year. Not making the CFP.
Yeah, but that's what he's talking about. He's talking about how the expectations of Clemson before he got there. This whole timeline of Dabo being the head coach and what he's done is the exception to the rule of what Clemson has been as a program.
Exactly.
That why is not what they've always been. They had one title in 85 or something, sometime in the 80s. That was the only title they had, and like that's the exception. So sure, I can understand fans, thinking that's not the expectations, but it's not, and they're eventually going to get passed up by the more true blue bloods.
I mean,
right?
LSU fans did the same thing to Edo. They pushed him out the door, even though it was a year after he just won the
It's a
national
different
championship.
situation.
That was a different situation because the whole COVID, because also COVID just didn't help that because that was the year after.
And LSU does expect the standard of excellence, even and has like, you know, even more so than Clemson. And I get that Clemson in recent years have had more success if you know, in that like 12-year stretch that Dabo was talking about. But the excellence level at LSU, there is a standard there. It's expected, right? 10 wins is just, you know, us waking up, getting out of bed is what they expect.
One of the things that the reason I disagree, though, is like, this is a different sport here, but LeBron James and Tom Brady, two idols, right? Two of the greatest to ever, no, listen, two of the greatest guys to ever play sports in general. They have both spoke about, if you want to be great, you have to come with you have to accept the expectations and the standards that come with being great. You can't be great and then and cry when things go bad and people criticize you, because that's not how you be great. If you I understand what the expectations were back in 2010, but now that you were like the Alabama, people were talking about this Clemson is the next dynasty of college football. You know, that's what people were saying back then. You know, you can't go through that success, set the bar so high, and want that, like, you want that success, you want that expectation. And then when you don't exceed those expectations anymore for 3 straight years, be like, okay, well, I want to just fall back on the old expectations now. Like, you can't do that if you want to be considered one of the greats. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
so I get it. I do. But one, and we'll call this one bad year, because I honestly, for Clemson, a part of the non-realistic standards is, I mean,
well, they were in the ACC title every year.
9-3. Hold on, they went 9-3 last year. Okay,
and they were ACC title, right?
They were livid. Like, they were like, I can't believe that we've gone 9-3. Like, we're not going to the college football playoff. We're not doing this. The whole year's a wash, right?
Yeah.
Now, that's a down year for Clemson. It's 9-3, still winning 10 games after their. Wait, did they win their bowl? No, they didn't win their bowl game. They lost to Tennessee. But that's a down year for your like team. That's fantastic. Good job. You know, you kind of made it. And now that they're 4-4, they're 500. People, and Davos when he said this last week, saying that you know, they need to get rid of some of the bandwagon fans for Clemson. Because it just, you know, it's all right. You know what Clemson was when he got there and what he built Clemson up to be. You know, you can't really give him too much crap for having a bad season. Now, it's because he won't change. And
I mean, it's only gotten worse, Josh.
If it like comes
last
to
year, they went.
I think he has more than earned a couple years, a couple bad years. He really has.
In 2021, if we remember that year, it was right after the COVID year. That was the year after Clemson won the ACC title against Notre Dame. They come back without T-Law, BJU's team. They went 9-3 in 2021. Didn't make the ACC title. That was Wake Forest and Pitt. The next year, last year, they were 9-3 again. Got blown out by the 3 best teams that they faced in Notre Dame, South Carolina, and Tennessee. And they won the ACC, but it was against a Tar Heel team that also, I believe, ended up with 4 losses.
And they also beat their chief rival. They beat Florida State last year, which is their chief rival.
Yeah, they beat Florida State last year. But now you come into this year and you're 4-4, and Clemson is circling the bottom of the barrel of the ACC. That's where I think it's more of fans were kind of like, because I think I have buddies that are Clemson fans that I talk to on group chats, stuff like that. They told me this year we're going to be back to being Clemson. We're going to go 11-1. We're only going to lose to Notre Dame. and we're going to be in the ACC title. We're going to go to the CFP.
They told you we're only going to lose to Notre Dame.
Dude, no,
Of
seriously.
course they did.
Dude, I'm not lying. Seriously, they
I don't.
thought
They
they were
There's
going to
the
lose to Notre Dame.
expectations saying that.
Yeah, that's the expectation, right?
But they're like, we're gonna be back to playing Clemson football, which is being
Now what are they saying? Now what are they saying?
They want Dabo fired.
Really?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're not letting him have one bad season.
Clemson fans want Dabo fired.
Yes, they do not want him there anymore. I have two buddies that are Clemson fans, not Coster, but they both want Dabo gone.
Okay.
Fired.
Well, I guess we've talked about that. Right. We'll just
we really beat that to death.
We'll quickly move on to Penn State. I'm sure Phil is not really shaking his boots for this game against Penn State coming up in a few weeks now after their struggle bus against Indiana. Phil, why don't you open it up? What are your thoughts on this?
Really quickly, I got to address Antoine. Antoine said that they got lucky, found a generational quarterback at Clemson. I'm sorry, I know I'm backtracking a little bit, but they had a run there. Taj Boyd into Deshaun Watson into Lawrence, so they had a run.
I'm not sure if, and then they had Kelly Bryant in there for a year, and they still in the CFP as well.
DJU, even we got to add him in there now. Granted, whatever happened.
Yeah.
And Klubnik was supposed to be generational, but obviously he's not. All right, so
he was at least top 5.
Yeah. All right, so really quick, and I'll try to be quick about this Penn State thing. I am not worried about Penn State at the beginning of the season. We spoke about this. I thought Penn State was going to be the toughest game on Michigan's schedule based on the talent and us having to play at Penn State. I do think that Fox got in the way of what would have been a really great whiteout opportunity for Penn State and NBC and the Wolverines. But, Fox gets first dibs. They messed that up. But that being said, Penn State is absolutely driving the struggle bus. They're not riding it. They're driving it. And Drew Aller is captaining that ship, and it's a disaster. Actually, James Franklin is captaining that ship, and it's a disaster. It may be time for James to move on, and not because he's a bad coach, but because he may have reached his zenith at Penn State.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. Unfortunately, the past. Obviously, the Ohio State game exposed them a bit more. I mean, we've been seeing even before that they had been struggling offensively for a few weeks, and these past 2 weeks have really exposed it. I don't know. It's just, I mean, I think we mentioned this. Was it last week where we kind of briefly talked about that? Is where should James Franklin, or is this like what James Franklin is ever going to amount to? Is just like a 10-win coach, 10-11 win. Occasional Rose Bowl appearance or something like that, but never ever make the CFP with Penn State.
I mean, I think people disrespect that the 2015 Penn State team that got cheated out of a playoff spot over Ohio. Ohio State got the spot over them, even though Penn State beat them.
Yeah.
All because Penn State wasn't able to play for the Big Ten. No, Penn State played for the Big Ten title. Mm-hmm. Ohio State didn't. But because Ohio State won 11-1, they put Ohio State in over. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, but that I just don't think Penn State's been able to find that, recapture that lightning in the bottle back when they had Saquon Barkley. I can't even remember the receiver they had, but he was really good that year. And then Trace McSorley, who, for whatever reason, Big Ten fans and Penn State fans absolutely trash Trace McSorley. I don't know why. Because I thought he was I don't know elite, but he was a pretty damn good quarterback back then. I mean, I think he's better than Drew Aller. Now, Drew Aller might have a higher ceiling, but go watch Trace McSorley back in those days, man. That dude could ball. Oh, Allen Robinson, thank you. Yeah, I mean that Penn State team to me. I don't know if they could have won the Natty that year. I don't know. Was it?
Ouch. That's a good comparison, I guess.
Who won the Natty in 2016?
Clemson.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if Penn State would have won the Natty, but I think Penn State would have gave whoever they played in the playoff definitely a run for their money.
Wait.
So
Be sure to like and share the stream. Like
Absolutely.
and share the stream.
Seriously though, Phil, can you give me?
Was that when Watson won it on the last play?
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
Phil, can you give me because what is it like as a Michigan fan? What was your perspective on Chris McSorley? Like, is there a reason why?
No,
Big
I
Ten
thought he
people
was.
just...
I thought he was a solid quarterback. I thought I mean, more than
I met
solid.
him. I got a photo of him one time. He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Josh, you got any thoughts real quick?
He caused us a lot of problems, but yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Josh.
Oh yeah. Doesn't it just feel like Penn State is like standing on the edge of a cliff about to jump off, and they never do?
Yeah.
Like the water's down there, right? It's deep, it's dark, it's the college football playoff, Big Ten championship, and they never jump.
No. You would think of the other way. They're on like a path, and going up the path is the college football playoff, and below them is like mediocrity, and they're staying right there in the middle, not going up, not going down. They just kind of continue right through the middle.
Well, it just feels like they've been the third best team in the Big Ten for a long time.
Sometimes even the fourth or fifth, whenever Little Bronham and
the only year they can say that
season where they're really good.
Yeah, the only year they could say they were the best was 2015. That's the only year they could
I want to finish the thought here. It really just seems like they have all the pieces, or they're gonna have all the pieces next year, or something like that. There's always that kind of feel to this Penn State team, and they just never get there. And I don't know, man. I mean, you could say Alar's not great, but he's also a sophomore, and this is his first year starting.
Yeah.
Like I think in the next 2 years he's going to be a fantastic quarterback, whether that's playing at Penn State or playing somewhere else. I honestly think that Penn State has all the parts and pieces that work together and get it done. I'm, kind of got a soft spot in my heart, James.
Right.
Okay, let's move on real quick. We got 3 more topics we got to get through real quick. Kansas ends the Sooners' 17-game win streak. And another pair of goalposts were taken down. I'm not sure if they ended up in water this time, though. But
they might need a GoFundMe in Kansas.
They definitely might need a GoFundMe. But yes, Kansas. Somehow they won without Jalen Daniels, and so everyone who took Oklahoma is now really pissed that we don't.
I was the only one that took Kansas. I've been calling it since the Texas game. So.
Cool.
Hold on. Oh, he's been calling this game specifically.
Yeah, I called Kansas. Yeah.
I've been calling for Oklahoma to lose for the past couple weeks. I just think that they didn't have it in them. It takes a lot for a team to go undefeated throughout the season, make it to their conference championship game. It takes a lot, and I didn't see it in that Sooner team. I really didn't. That and Oklahoma Sooner fans, you know who you are. Not you, but you, right? All right? You're acting like you're going to come into the SEC next year and be everybody's daddy, and you're going to get smacked. Like, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, why did we do this? Like, it's going to be bad. But that was all the smack talk I have for Oklahoma. Tremendous effort by Kansas. Good job, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that game. I had interest in that game because I had a parlay that included Oklahoma winning. Of course, they didn't. So I was very interested in that game. Bean wasn't even great is the crazy part. He was trying to give the game away. Oklahoma just snatched defeat from the jaws of victory, and maybe they deserve this.
That's an amazing stat. Kansas was 0-99-1 in games against top 10 opponents while being down in the fourth quarter.
Insane.
Oklahoma gets to be that first team out of 101 teams.
100 games.
Hold on, guys. Choklahoma.
Choklahoma, yes.
Oklahoma's
So real
back.
quick, because I wanted to get into this. It's so sad because this is going to be another year, the second year in a row, where we sit here with this Kansas team and think man, how good would they be if they had a healthy Jalen Daniels?
Oh my
Well, at least
god! If
this
it's
year,
and buts for candy and nuts, it'd be Christmas every day.
No,
okay?
seriously, like,
I mean, but they're
dude, I
6-2,
just
they're 6-2 and in the CFP.
no.
So, I mean,
I
at least, like,
understand that, but I feel like last year we got robbed of half a season without Jalen Daniels. This year we're getting robbed of basically an entire season of Jalen Daniels, and it's rumored that he's going to medically redshirt for the rest of the season. So we'll get Jalen Daniels part 3 next year.
That boy needs some milk. He needs to stop drinking all this nonsense.
But no, like seriously, like if this team has Jalen Daniels, I don't know if they beat Texas because Texas is really good, but they probably beat Oklahoma State because Oklahoma State won that game based on a pick six, 2 pick sixes thrown by Jason Bean. So we're talking about a 7-1 Kansas team that has the tiebreaker over Oklahoma, would be right in the driver's seat right behind Texas for the Big 12 championship. I mean, dude. Oh, man. But anyway, great win for Kansas. My question for you guys is there any worry that this is the same Oklahoma defense from last year? Because they got ran through like a red light in this game.
No, not at all. No.
Josh,
Oklahoma defense is
they're a better defense.
Yeah, this Oklahoma defense is much improved.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Antoine, I like Kansas. They're pretty dangerous in their own way.
That's fair.
Oh man.
I mean, it's I've been a Jalen Daniels believer since last year, and I'm kind of with Ryan that I'm mad that we've been able to see more of him. But at least Kansas seems to have learned from their mistakes last year, not being able to survive much without him, and they've been able to kind of respond and do better without him, showing that I think Lance Leipold's showing, that he is a really fantastic coach. I saw something that he ended like 4 different streaks with this loss. Yep. It was like lost to ended the Sooners winning streak, lost overall losing streak to the Sooners was like 26, losses against like top 10 teams like they showed, and like losses at home against ranked teams or something. So
do we think Leipold coach of the year
for the Big 12?
No, in general.
Why?
Yeah, not in general. Probably for the Big 12.
They would have to go like 11 and they would have to win like the conference and then the bowl game and go like 12-2 for him to get consideration, I think.
Okay.
Usually it's coach of the year goes to, I wouldn't say like the surprise team, but like, it's kind of funny. It never always goes to the head coach of the best overall team. It goes to the team that was like most surprisingly good. It's just like in the NFL. The coach of the year always usually goes to the team that's like the surprise playoff team that makes it. So I don't know.
Yeah, I just hope he doesn't leave Kansas after this year. I'm pretty sure
someone's going to try and poach him. I wouldn't be surprised.
You don't think maybe he comes back if Jalen Daniels, if he gets that medical red shirt, comes back next year, they run it back? I mean, with Oklahoma and Texas leading next year, who's to say Kansas can't win the Big 12 next year?
Well, they got to have to deal with Utah going.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Arizona beats the Beavers. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about this real quick.
You guys,
I didn't see the game, so I have no idea what to think, other than it's Pac-12 after dark, because I think this is a night game, right?
Yep. It was. All right. Pac-12 after dark strikes again. Arizona waxes. I'm not going to say that. Arizona beats the Beavers at home.
They really like waxing their beaver.
A really tight 1-score game. Good job, Arizona, coming out on top. They were tied at 10 at halftime. That's the last I saw of it. And then, because I don't stay up past 1:30 in the morning, I didn't watch the rest of it. But good job. Good job, Wildcats. And proving, again, how cannibalistic the Pac-12 can be, even in its final season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm starting to second guess the Pac-12. At one point during the season, I was like, man, this is like the strongest league, strongest conference in college football, and they still might be, but at the same time, I feel like it's a bunch of teams at or around Oregon State's level, and then there's Washington and Oregon. So whatever, those teams would probably win like the Oregon States would win the Big Ten West in its last year, sure, maybe. But so what? They get waxed by the other three teams. Pause, because I was thinking of anyway, yeah, it's that, right? Like they're a solid conference. And I guess if you have a conference full of Oregon States and Washington States, then that is pretty good. But it's really Washington and Oregon, and I expect that they will play each other again, and that's going to decide who goes to the playoff probably.
I mean, we said, like the Pac-12 was, we all knew it was going to absolutely just destroy itself. That's just always how it seems to go, and we're seeing that. So,
literally,
it's a little bit of a mirage seeing all those. Like I think we'll see this later, but like 16 through 20 are four of those five are our Pac-12 teams, which is Oregon State, Utah, UCLA, and USC are in that range. So like they're all like mid top 25 teams that like probably are going to finish with at least an extra loss or two. And Oregon and Washington are far superior to them. Which is why they're leaving and going to the Big Ten. So, along with USC and UCLA, but still.
I still think Oregon State's a really good team. I think they caught Arizona at the worst possible time. Arizona's just heating up. They've lost all three of their games by 8 or less. That includes Washington at home, USC in overtime, and was it like double overtime, I believe? And then I can't remember who their other loss was to. Oh, by Mississippi State in double overtime. So they're a really solid team. The Beavers actually lost this game more than Arizona won it, going for the fake field goal before halftime instead of just kicking the three. And of course, then they have the missed field goal at the end that would have either probably won them the game if they would have hit it. But I'm not sleeping on the Beavers yet. I still think they can make some noise with DJU. Yeah. We'll move on to our final thing. The Oregon Ducks absolutely quacks the Utes in prime time.
That's terrible. That's just a terrible pun.
No, it's not.
Just bad. Just bad. No, Ryan, just no. I don't think any of us were. I mean, I had some down in the back of my head because of how last year had gone with Utah against Oregon, or the past couple of years. So I was kind of expecting it, but this Oregon team definitely seems like it's a different animal. It's unfortunate they already have one loss, and now they can't really suffer a second one somehow, or else they're out of the playoff. But which obviously Lucas would be very, very disappointed in.
All right, Josh.
All right. So I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. I wanted to pick Utah to win this game, and I'm so glad I did. I was just like, if they had their injured quarterback who may or may not be transferring away, because I don't know why. I don't deserve to know why. How about that? I don't deserve to know anything Cam Rising or anything. I'm never gonna let that. That's just how it's gonna be. But I just felt like there were too many question marks for this Utah team, and I didn't have nearly as many question marks about the Ducks. So I ended up picking the Ducks. I was right, and mean, what else can you say? Oregon looks like a really complete team right now. I think they're playing some of the best ball in the country. I don't know if they're playing the best ball in the country, but they're absolutely doing well right now, and they are a team to look out for.
I echo a lot of the sentiments. I think Oregon is better than everybody by a lot in the Pac-12, except for Washington. That's really what it comes down to. We've seen them play once. It was a really close game that could have been won by Oregon if the coach made some different decisions. Maybe. That being said, Penix and Bo Nix are pretty equally matched. Washington, I give the edge to on offense. I think Oregon's the better all-around team. So we'll see it play out again. But as far as Utah goes, I thought they had a lot of expectations to begin this year. It was a promising season to start with. Cam Rising obviously never playing hurts that a lot. And I think that's what it came down to really for them all season. And in this game, it probably could have been different if he played. And I'm talking about the score, maybe not the outcome. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement. I thought Utah would win this game because I thought they'd come in riding high after beating their little bro-nem, USC. Couldn't same situation that happened last year. Utah beat USC last year and then lost to Oregon. So history repeats itself. But yeah, I mean, the Ducks, I still think that they should be ranked higher than Washington. I understand the head-to-head. But Lucas made a good point, or posted this today. Somehow, Washington got worse after beating Oregon, and somehow Oregon got better after losing to Washington. It seems like both teams are heading in different directions. I think if they played again, I think Oregon wins. But yeah, I'm sad that Lucas isn't here to brag about how they absolutely destroyed the Mormons. So all right, let's get into we'll do this and then we'll save the rest of the stuff for Thursday's show.
Yeah, because I don't have anything for this. So I don't have any of this stuff.
Real quick, just hot take of the week, really quick. Josh,
Or the future.
Hottest take. VT ACC title championship appearance. I'm calling it.
What? They must be buying tickets.
They control their own destiny. I call it.
Oh my gosh, I'm feeling the heat coming up all the way through the screen, man. That's nuts.
Virginia Tech has called Connor Stallion's ticket guy.
No, I know Connor Stallings is my friend. Obviously,
dude.
I know every Connor that exists in the world. I know every Connor, so he can.
Connor just somehow magically turned on my furnace in my house. So,
so my hot take.
USC
is going to be that
14. What?
Going to be that Missouri drops their next 3 games.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Stop it. They're not beating Georgia. I know they're not.
Right.
They're not going to beat Tennessee.
Nope.
Oh.
After those 2, they might even lose to South Carolina. Who knows? Actually, no, South Carolina already played them. They lost. So, we'll see.
This is a good one. Oregon versus Michigan Natty.
That would be nuts. The uniforms would be like on one side of the spectrum and then the other.
Yeah.
First of all, don't do our uniforms like that. They're classic.
No. That's the style, though. You guys know what you are, and you always say uniforms classic. And then you've got Oregon, who has, who takes a spinning wheel and spins it every week.
Right.
They do that with the helmets.
My hot take. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Phil.
My hot take is that LSU beats Alabama. And by the way, I stand by LSU plays in the SEC championship game, I'm going to take it a step further. LSU wins the SEC.
Ooh.
Phil, I'm about to just boot you off
That's
this
warm.
show. No,
Ryan's just mad. He would be so pissed if Brian Kelly won the SEC. He'd be so pissed.
no. What's going to happen is they're saving us and LSU for the New Year's Six. That's what they're doing. So we can smack good old Bayou Brian and his family all the way back to Louisiana. My hot take of the week is Mizzou is going to take down mighty Georgia.
Cut the stream.
No.
Got it.
Brady Cook.
Brady Cook.
We're going to clip it.
Brady Cook and Luther Burden are going to absolutely torch Georgia's defense. Brady Cook will throw for over 300 yards.
Torch it.
3 touchdown passes.
Burn it to the ground.
And Josh is trying not to just die right now. And then Missouri will be in the driver's seat for the SEC East.
It's wild the things that happen in your head.
Ryan, I really
What's the
need to
spread?
understand
What is the spread
what's
of
going on
Georgia?
here.
Here, let me find it. Let me bring this up.
What are you trying to find?
The spread for the Georgia.
Because Moose says Georgia won't cover it, but I'm pretty sure Georgia will cover it because they're beating the brakes off of like the good teams on their schedule.
Yeah, Georgia's like turning on all of a sudden. It's really weird.
You know
Okay.
what's crazy?
Let's give our reactions.
15.5 point favorite.
Starting next, also real quick,
What is
guys.
it? 16?
Georgia is a 15.5 point favorite at home.
Oh, they're covering that.
No.
They're covering that.
Big time.
All right.
I think it's okay. So real quick, also for those of you who don't know, or what I think we're gonna do going forward, at least me and Phil will be able to do this. We will give our live reactions to the CFP rankings each Tuesday night that they come out for the rest of the season. At least Phil and I will be able to do that. That way we can just give our immediate thoughts then. I'm sure we'll still be able to talk about it come the show, but I think
And you guys can stream it. You guys can actually have it pulled up on here, like full screen like this.
I know. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll be
You
able to
can
do
have
that.
it full screen, not tiny. You can have it full screen on here because as long as you're like, there's no game footage or anything. As long as you have it muted, you're good.
Oh, interesting.
So,
Interesting. Okay.
We'll try it on our channel first.
My immediate thought, seeing this, there's no JMU and there's no Liberty, so fuck them. They're wrong.
yeah,
They are wrong.
I agree. Is that it, Connor?
I mean, like I said, 16 through 20. There you go. Oregon State, Utah, UCLA, USC, right there. Bunch of just mid teams from the, not mid, but I mean, they're just not the best. Also, Oklahoma State's just come out of nowhere all of a sudden because remember they lost to South Alabama, didn't they?
Somehow they're ranked when they got blown out at home 31-13 by South Alabama, who's 4-5.
Yeah, so they just kind of came out of nowhere. I completely forgot about that.
Football math, right there.
Yeah, football math, and then of course, there's Louisville above LSU and Notre Dame.
Let's be real.
Oregon State is still in the top 20. That's nuts to me.
Huh?
Oregon State.
What do you mean they lost? They lost 2 games by a field goal.
Yeah, and then I mean, obviously the big thing that everyone's going to talk about, and Phil's going to give his thoughts, is obviously Ohio State is ranked number 1 over Georgia and Michigan. I guess it's just because they're saying Ohio State has the best wins, 2 best wins of any team, I guess.
Yeah,
but I'm sure we'll get.
So this was my problem with it is, I'm not even mad at Ohio State being number 1. I think they do have the best wins, maybe. But if they are number 1, then Florida State can't be number 4. And they should probably be number 2. And it should probably go by that standard of, and I'm just going by the standard of Ohio State being number one. If Ohio State is number one and Florida State is number two, then it should probably go Georgia, Michigan, based on the way that they're doing that. Georgia, according to them, has the 100th ranked strength of schedule, and Michigan has the 111th ranked strength of schedule. However, there are other where Michigan is 76th and Georgia is 94th. So it's really weird. But either way, Florida State definitely has the other best wins in that top four anyway. Washington obviously probably has the best win, but Oregon also has a couple good wins. They have also lost a game though to Washington, so there's that. Let's move on from that though. The fact that Notre Dame is right smack dab in the middle illustrates just how mid they are. They are the definition of mid. Actually,
they're right
smack
dab in the middle of the entire graphic. I just realized that.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's like, that just screams mid. Then OSU, I'm with you guys. They shouldn't be on this thing. I would replace them with JMU. I think Air Force is down too far, but those are things that really don't matter in the end because they're not going to make the CFP.
Mm-hmm. Air Force should make the CFP. No, I'm joking.
You're welcome.
I want you to tell the Pac-12 champion that they can't go to the college football playoff because Air Force is undefeated. I want you to do that.
Oh man. No, I agree. Air Force should be in the top 20. I don't care. What this committee did was they ranked 23 teams, Power 5 teams that they could think of off the top of their head. And they're like, okay, well, we'll just give the final 2 spots to the group of 5. And that's what they did, which is just stupid. For the first time in a while, I think the AP poll did a better job ranking the top 25 than the committee, because they actually know what they're doing. This committee is just a bunch of just like, well, we want to do this here, but for this team, we're going to do it differently. For instance, like you guys said, Ohio State's 1 because of their strength of schedule. Then why isn't Florida State 2?
I don't think Ohio State is 1 solely because of their strength of their schedule, but I'll say my piece when it's my time.
Also, I think the top 10 is perfect. Besides Florida State should be 2. Let's get into the 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. You want to have Louisville at 13. 2 spots ahead of Notre Dame. When Louisville lost to Pitt, I don't care how big Pitt, what you want to say.
This is such a ridiculous
argument. Notre Dame beat Pitt 58.
And Louisville beat Notre Dame.
Beat Notre Dame.
It's a lot. Fluke.
It was.
You're not supposed to rank. You're not supposed to rank based off of just head to head. You're supposed to use other factors. And the eye test shows you, and the strength of schedule shows you that Notre Dame's a better football team than Louisville, and that if
I don't know, man, where's Notre Dame's offense?
They dropped 58 points.
Louisville did beat Notre Dame, so I mean that doesn't mean that just shows that they're a better team than Notre Dame.
If that game was played 9 out of 10 times, Notre Dame wins 9.
You mean 9 out of 10 times,
bro? Stop it now.
Virginia Tech beat Ohio State, who won the Natty in 2015. I don't care.
Here we go.
Anyway, when Louisville gets drugged by Virginia Tech this weekend, well,
you don't believe that. You don't believe that.
I do believe that.
He doesn't fully believe that. And I don't even.
I've got Louisville fans in my mentions talking about, oh, we beat you guys.
Well, they did.
Yeah. Skull rug Notre Dame up and down the field like they were money.
Because we were looking ahead to USC, who was an actual match. We weren't.
Hey, yo, this take is
we gotta
right
play
near the bottom of your worst take.
We got to play Louisville, who struggled with Murray State. Yeah, that's a really exciting.
Struggled with Murray State. struggled with
Wow,
Murray State.
really?
They beat Murray State by 50 points.
I'm talking about in the first half, they were riding the struggle bus.
Bro.
God.
Notre Dame rode the
Uh,
struggle bus
one
the
thing to lose
entire
right
game.
there.
God.
Anyway, also LSU. Okay, if you're going to use the head-to-head, then why isn't LSU ahead of Mizzou? They literally only used the head-to-head.
They have 2 losses.
They only
LSU
used the
does have two
head-to-head.
losses.
They only used the head-to-head against Notre Dame. That is the only
No,
team they use that against.
And they also have 2 losses.
So basically, you're telling me if Louisville loses to Virginia Tech, they should still be ranked ahead of Notre Dame.
No, that's not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Well, they got both
By the way,
losses then,
I'm
Phil.
telling you, if Louisville loses to Virginia Tech, they should be unranked. But no disrespect, respectfully. But yeah, they have 1 loss. They beat the 2-loss team that you're arguing for. It really doesn't make a lot of sense.
I'm just telling you, I think Notre Dame beats 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, and it's not competitive.
Oh my!
I don't think it'd be close.
Stop the.
I don't think
Oklahoma
you beat,
would
you don't
Because
not
none of those
match-
teams,
I don't think you can. I don't think.
none of those teams are scoring on our defense. If Caleb
Notre Dame
Williams,
isn't scoring.
if
Notre
Caleb
Dame is
Williams,
scoring.
we scored 48 on USC and we scored 58 on Pitt.
Off of
Yeah, like
turnovers.
you
How many
scored 10
offensive
Hey,
yards
bro,
did
like,
you
have?
gotta
those
stop
points-
using Pitt as a litmus test.
Those points were
Worst
scored on drives
defense.
longer than 20 yards.
Since when has Michigan scored 58 points this year against god awful competition?
Hey yo.
Hey,
Oh my
Louisville-
god. Oh my god.
God, these-
Wait, hold on. No, this is my last point.
Well,
Notre Dame's defense, you guys can say, well, you want about our offense. Our defense is going to stop anybody in the country.
So it's Penn State.
No, they're not.
Oh,
They
now
gave up
Penn
more
State
points
doesn't
to-
have good defense. Okay.
They gave up.
All
They
right.
gave up 20 points to Ohio State. We gave up 17. There's a difference.
Oh, that's a 3-point
Hey,
difference.
Hey, cut his mic off.
For real.
This is
But anyway, my
Last
final
one is-
thought: James Madison should be ranked, and the fact that they aren't just makes this committee look even dumber. So
Okay, I got this.
bro.
I got
What
that.
is ranking James Madison gonna do? I'm sorry. Go ahead. John.
I am taking over. Number 1, James Madison can't beat him in a college football playoff. They just can't. Period. All right. I'm gonna go on and take over on this. Okay, so it looks like 16 through 20, in my opinion, shouldn't be where they are. I think up front of the pack in that should be Utah, and Tennessee.
oh
and
no,
who's here?
it's Lucas.
Oh boy.
God. Lucas is about to come in and just destroy
Anyways.
Ryan right now.
No, man. It's just the Oregon State shouldn't be there. Tennessee should be up in the 20s. USC is actually a little bit high for what they are. Oklahoma State, where did they come from? They need to go back because no, you're not going to play in the college football playoff. Sorry. Mizzou being up there is wild, but I understand they've played really well so far. Louisville being up there is, again, wild, but it's only because we know how Louisville plays against bad teams. Other than that, Ohio State is number 1 because they are Ohio State. Make no mistake that you can say, well, they've got the best resume. No. The committee knows what they're doing. They're putting Ohio State number 1 because they know that's going to sell the playoff to Ohio State fans. So Ohio State number 1. I would put Florida State number 2, but Jesus,
Michigan. No, I'm joking. But seriously,
I guess
Rutgers
Lucas
should
can
be ranked.
join.
Rutgers, yeah.
That I would not actually be that mad about that. I mean,
But do you know why they're not?
6-2.
Rutgers should not be ranked. Don't
But
be
do you know why they're not? Ryan, it's not the reason why you think. You know why Rutgers isn't ranked?
because they suck.
No, because Rutgers is not going to win the Big Ten.
No.
That's it.
I mean,
That's false.
neither is Penn State.
Yet they're there. Isn't that wild?
I'm an idiot.
Rutgers is a top 25 team.
No, they're not, Phil. Stop trying to pump up your competition.
I'm not.
They
Rutgers
are
top
not.
25.
Rutgers would get drugged by every team on this top 25.
You're
Even
wild.
Air Force.
Rutgers is dog walk Tulane.
No, they wouldn't.
Rutgers would give K-State a game.
No, seriously.
Dude.
Rutgers would destroy Oklahoma State right now.
No, they would not.
I can see that. I can see
Rutgers
that.
has a top 10 defense.
No.
Rutgers would absolutely.
No. Also, one more thing. If head-to-head matters, why is Oklahoma State behind Kansas? Because they beat Kansas.
Hey, yo.
They both have 2 losses. I just realized that.
Ridiculous.
Who's playing better right now?
Kansas just beat
Okay,
Oklahoma State
let's just,
beat Kansas last
Brian,
week.
let's just show our top 25, and then we'll get into that real quick.
Yeah,
Let's
ours is
wrap this
better
shit up.
because ours is always right.
Ours is always right.
The Week 0 podcast top 25. It's better because it's right.
I didn't vote on this, by the way. Disclaimer.
Notre Dame is where they should be. Rightfully at 12.
Come on, bro.
Oh, is he back?
Joe Klatt had us at 10, so I'm not delusional.
Man, I tried to stay away.
So when
I just got home. I tried to stay away, but I could not sit here and listen to Ryan talk about Notre Dame like they can beat 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14.
We will.
That is just absolute blasphemy.
We will
Y'all
dog.
already lost to Louisville. Don't embarrass
They had already
yourselves.
proven they couldn't beat 12.
It
so
doesn't
it's,
matter. That's a fluke. We already know that. If Notre
No,
Dame
we
plays
know
Louisville
that.
right now-
They
Hey,
played
it
multiple
might be a
times.
fluke if you lose by 3. It ain't if you lose by 20, brother.
We lost by 13. So
That doesn't make it better.
they lost to
That doesn't make your
17.
argument better.
They lost to Pitt by 17. We beat Pitt by 51.
Okay, that doesn't matter. You still lost to Louisville.
Man, I
You lost
swear.
head to head.
It doesn't matter. Look at the
Jordan
context.
defense in the
We
mashed
played Ohio
potatoes.
State and Duke, and then we got to play Louisville. Who is
And then
Louisville?
and then Louisville
Who
beat
is
Duke.
Louisville?
And then
The
Louisville
team
beat
only
Duke
has
more
one
than
loss.
you beat Duke by.
We were looking ahead to our rival. That's what we were doing. We were like, man, why
Good
are we
teams
playing
don't look
Louisville?
ahead.
Yeah, they do.
Good teams.
Oklahoma
beat the
was
teams
looking
they're
ahead.
supposed to beat.
Oklahoma ain't a good team.
They beat Texas.
I don't
Surprise,
give a damn who beat Texas.
That's also a rivalry game.
Like,
Texas,
or, like Lucas, I'm
Texas
telling you
isn't
right
good
now.
either. Look
Like
at the
Lucas
top
right now.
6. Those are the only
Dude,
good teams in the country.
Oregon-
The rest suck.
Lucas, Oregon is better than Washington. If they played that game
Back.
10 times, Oregon would beat Washington 9 times. That is a fact. Like,
I
What?
don't disagree. We lost by 3 points.
but you guys should be ranked ahead of them because you're a better football team.
I don't care where we're ranked. We're gonna beat that ass in Vegas. It don't matter. We control our own destiny. You know what the bottom 7 don't do? That
Yeah.
or 7 and below. I guess
Yeah.
Texas kind
No.
of does.
No, Notre Dame would beat Michigan, so stop it, Moose.
Hey, man.
No, they were not.
Yes, we would.
Hey, bro. Hey, yo.
No, they were not.
Yes, we would. Come if it was played in South
At
Bend,
what?
we would beat
Not
you guys. Yes.
football.
You don't
Yes, it
even
would be
have a
football.
home field advantage.
You realize
No.
Michigan hasn't won in South Bend since like what 2007?
Okay, and they'll.
And yes, that's what, like
They would
2
absolutely
games.
Dog walk them.
No, they
It
played
would-
every
would
year
not
after
be close.
2007.
It would not be close.
We
I
would
just
dog
watched
walk
the
them.
other
you-
state
we
beat
could
Notre
play you
Dame
in
in
South
JJ
Bend,
McCarthy
Indiana.
couldn't score on our
on the
defense.
Gaza Strip in the Vatican. We would destroy them
Oh, I
in
hope
front
Michigan
of the
get.
Pope.
Oh my
In
God,
front of all of the
you know what,
cardinals.
Phil?
All the
They
Phil,
could,
you know
You'll
what?
never
They
get the
could-
chance, Ryan. Notre Dame is booty.
they could
You know-
chant Hail Marys while you guys
Phil, I
are
hope to
getting
God.
destroyed.
You know what?
Put a hole in that drywall, Ryan.
Michigan is
Put a
gonna
hole
beat
in that
Notre Dame.
drywall.
Didn't I not wait? Didn't I say that my hot take was that Michigan was going to beat Ohio State by like 21 or 28 or something?
Hold on a
Wasn't
minute,
that my
hold
hot
on.
take a few weeks ago,
Phil,
Phil?
really quick. Who
Yeah, that was
cares
one of
about
my hot takes.
LSU?
Is-
Who cares about playing LSU in the year 6? I hope Michigan loses 2 games or at least 1, so we get to
Wow.
play you in an NY6.
Wow.
So we
Notre
can
Dame's
beat
not
that
You don't
going
out.
want
to
to
a
play
New
us.
Year's
You don't want
Six
to play
bowl.
us.
Yeah, we
Don't
do.
It's not going to a New York
You don't
Six
want to play
bowl.
us.
You'll be
What?
playing.
I
in the
wish that
GoDaddy-
Michigan could win the Natty.
GoDaddy.com bowl.
No,
on
dude, if we beat
December
Clemson, we're
16th.
easily in the New Year's 6. What are you talking about?
Bro, I wish Michigan could win the Natty, schedule a game with Notre Dame on the front lawn of the Vatican.
You know what?
Destroy them
Please.
in front
You
of
know
the
what? Because
Pope.
Phil, you know what would happen?
That's ridiculous.
You know what would
That's
happen?
a ridiculous thing.
Your boy CJ Carr would absolutely torch that defense. That's what he's going to do when he plays you guys in the playoffs.
Ryan, how much have you had to drink today? Because
I have just had enough of Louisville fans chirping at me.
Notre Dame
actually won something.
Notre Dame's going to play Clemson in the Folgers Coffee Bowl.
No, dude. Literally, all we have to do to make a New Year's Six to guarantee it is make it to number 11. If we get in the top 11, we're guaranteed at NY6.
How do you take that?
That's based off the bull tie-ins.
How do
Me
you
and
take
Sean
that?
figured it out. Huh?
How do you think that?
Because we're going to be we're not going to stay at 15. We're going to move
Bro,
up.
Notre Dame could have Gatorade bottles full of holy water while taking the body
That's
of
why
Christ
Michigan won't play us again.
and get destroyed by Michigan.
That's why you
Hold
won't
on,
play us again.
Didn't we talk about this and Notre Dame backed out of that?
Yes.
Because it wasn't worth
they
it.
did.
We were beating you guys on a regular basis.
You guys backed out
Hey,
of
yo,
it.
I need this guy to be based in some sort of reality. Like, where is this alternate plane?
Establish this. He does not exist in reality. He is his.
So I can give you the
his own
records.
fantasy.
So Michigan is 9-8 against Notre Dame since 2000.
Winning record.
Cool. That means that
I don't
they
think
make
won
better
one
records.
game.
We've
right,
beaten
one
you
more.
more than you've beaten us.
That you won one more
By the
game,
way,
so.
all time, we've beaten you more than you've beaten us as well. I don't care how you slice it, as long as we beat you more than
because
you
taught
beat
us
us.
how to play football, Phil. You
Yeah,
played
yeah.
us like 10 years before.
Yeah, and we're gonna teach you how to shut your mouth and know your roles.
That's why you guys won't come back to the Bend anytime soon.
Who wants to go there? Have you seen that place? It's
Yeah,
not
USC
exactly-
called it a dump.
They
And
don't
got
even-
absolutely destroyed.
They don't even paint the end zones, dude. It's not.
Who
I know,
cares?
man. They don't have. You know what? I'm not gonna.
We're
go
too
there.
good to paint our
Whatever.
end zones. We're not Michigan.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I've said many sacrilege things tonight.
Painting
But
the end zones are pointless when you don't score.
that's Rick. He said, Jerome,
Oh
I
God, I
Dude,
hope.
Brody.
shut your mouth and know your role.
So,
If you get-
so,
if you
so
get
we know
chipped
it's
into
funny,
the smack-
Phil. So
Yeah.
if we end up playing, so if Michigan, because you guys are going to lose to Ohio State, that's just a given now.
God, man.
No, dude.
When
Right.
if we play you guys in an NY6,
Clearly, we should have extended our hot take segment.
Yeah.
To be,
Yeah.
we should just have that as like a. We should have
Okay,
that as
right.
like, just like a ticker at the bottom. Hot take of the week. Just Ryan. Everything.
hold on,
Ryan
hold on.
says.
Right.
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
Ryan, how many times has Notre Dame beat Ohio State in the past 2 years?
we've only played them 8 times.
In the past 2 years.
We lost to them both times, but there were reasons for that.
Cool.
Whoa.
Don't do that.
Oh,
that's
it
wild.
doesn't matter what excuses
doesn't
you
We had,
matter.
hey, you know what? I don't
All
care.
games
We had a
doesn't
No,
lead.
that's right.
We had a
Don't do that.
lead. We had a lead in the fourth quarter. Both
Cool,
years.
and yet you didn't have to lead at the end of the game, which means you
And
didn't
you
win.
lost both
That means
times.
we
You
were
don't
the better
you don't-
team
you
for
don't
3
get to
quarters.
use any excuse that
Okay,
you have as to
well,
why they lost.
Football
You
games
lost.
are 4 quarters. Why we call them quarters?
Dude, I hope Michigan
Look,
gets to an
Look,
NY6.
here's the thing, Ryan. I know seriously, Ryan. All jokes aside, this is just me and you talking. Do you think that the other state is better than they were last season?
On the defensive side of the ball, yeah.
No, as a team, overall, are they better?
No.
Okay, is Michigan better than they were last season?
I don't know because they haven't played anyone.
All right. I'll tell you, we brought back 86% of our production, something like that.
Your offense your offense actually got worse from last year somehow.
That's wild because they're averaging 40
What?
something.
Dude, no,
Yeah.
they're on the total offense. They're like 77th in total offense.
What?
Yeah, total offense. Try points per game, buddy.
Points per game doesn't mean anything. When
Total.
you're playing
You
trash
understand that?
state.
You understand that starters aren't playing fourth quarter. JJ McCarthy has thrown 4 fourth quarter passes.
Well, that's because you guys aren't playing anybody.
Yo,
they're blowing them out like they're supposed
which
to.
is it, Ryan? We can't have it both ways, man. You can't say, yo, they're not playing anybody and they're
If
not
you want to
good
go
on
points
offense.
per game,
We're
then
obviously
technically
good on offense.
If you want to go points per game, then there's not much difference between Notre Dame and Michigan because Notre Dame's averaging 39, Michigan's averaging 40.
Bro, you guys just got to 39 with the 58 points you scored on Pitt.
We were averaging 36 before that.
All right. So I'm not, but that wasn't even my question. I don't even, somehow you brought Notre Dame back into this. It wasn't even about Notre Dame.
That's just how Ryan operates. He always somehow finds
so
a way
because,
to
no, because the narrative for Michigan, for Notre Dame is their offense sucks because we've actually played good defenses. Michigan's, their offense is great.
No, it's just like every
their offense is great because they beat up on.
They just start bringing random shit in, just
right,
trying to win.
Right.
So you realize that
deflect.
When Notre Dame was playing trash teams in Central Michigan, Tennessee State, Navy, Pitt, we're dropping damn near 60 points a game. You know why? Because those are trash teams. But if Notre Dame played the schedule Michigan would, we'd average more points because we're playing bad teams.
None of those. Literally, like
Notre Dame would dominate Minnesota, Pitt, Nebraska, and Rutgers. Let's be real. Like Notre Dame would blow those teams out of the water.
Ryan, none of them are bad, like technically bad teams. Like all of them are like.
Ryan, how many yards do you think Notre Dame got against USC? One of the worst defenses.
It doesn't matter because it's skewed because we got the ball in plus territory.
How many yards?
It doesn't matter because it's skewed because
it matters because you didn't have the ball in plus
How many times did we start?
Possession.
How many times did we start in plus territory? A lot.
Like 3 times. 4
times. Yeah.
Ooh, wow. Crazy.
And USC had the time of possession. We didn't have the ball very long.
You had 12 drives. Yeah, because your offense fucking sucked. 251 yards. 250.
What did we do against Pitt?
I don't give a fuck. Pitt sucks.
He said against Pitt. Yo, this is crazy.
Pitt would beat Rutgers. I'm telling you that right now.
Topic?
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would.
Another topic. We need to move on.
Pitt would do. Hold on. Pitt would do what?
Pitt would beat Rutgers.
He's saying Pitt would beat Rutgers.
Stop it, man. Stop.
See, but all I'm saying is the narrative for Michigan.
Rutgers. No way is Pitt beating Rutgers.
The narrative for Michigan
this year is against Pitt.
The narrative for Michigan is, we got the great offense, we got a great defense. Okay,
we do.
Who are you playing against?
We do.
Who are you playing against?
We're now playing against the Big Ten Conference.
That is trash. Besides Ohio State and Penn State.
Okay, we'll get to them when we get to them.
So what happens?
4 teams that are 6. They're like.
So what will the narrative be? What will the narrative be if Michigan scores? Say, it probably won't happen. But if Michigan plays Ohio State and that game's a slugfest like the Notre Dame Ohio State game, say it's like a, I don't know, 20-17.
As long as they win, it doesn't matter what happens.
Is the narrative going to be that Michigan still has an elite offense? No. Because you actually played a good defense with a pulse.
Hold on. So you're saying, because I need to get this straight. You're saying, and I'm just saying if, because I don't think that's going to happen. But if Michigan has a game where they score 17 points, then that means that they don't have an elite offense. They can't have
That's because that's what these guys.
No.
Said after we only dropped
but I'm trying to clarify with you. I'm not talking about what anybody else is saying. I'm saying you believe that if Michigan has one off day and scores 17, that somehow that means
when they
not
face an actual defense. Yes.
No, bro. Just I'm asking actual defense, no defense, whatever. The Ohio State defense. If they play them and score 17 points, that means they don't have an elite offense.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm doing it to you, Phil, because that was done to me when Notre Dame scored 14.
By who? I don't talk to you about Notre Dame because they don't matter enough for me to talk to you about them.
I had to listen to these guys in the car on the way home. Man, Notre Dame's offense sucks.
It did.
Ohio State had a good defense.
So talk about their teams, bro. This
did.
vitriol, like I said, this vitriol that you have somehow grown this season for Michigan is unwarranted,
Because
bro.
no,
We
the
haven't.
reason
Nobody
I don't
would
like
say
Michigan-
a word to you about Notre Dame.
Dude,
I'm
I don't
telling
like
you.
Michigan because Michigan fans talk all that
It's
talk
no,
when they
no.
don't play.
Not
anybody.
about Notre Dame,
They do about Notre. What are you talking about?
bro. So somebody unwarranted, unsolicited, whatever it is that you want to say, came to you and was like, "Oh, yo, Notre Dame's trash and Michigan's excellent."
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Have you been on Michigan Twitter?
I'm on Michigan Twitter daily.
Exactly.
Can we just move on, please?
Let's do
Okay,
it.
let's
Let's
move
move
on,
on.
please. God. Okay, we'll move on to the pick'ems. It is now tied. I'm rightfully back, at least at the top, tied at the moment. How are the
That's
two games
incredible.
that we had going?
Thank you. Inside the end zone.
Hold on.
About beating
Okay, hold on. What? Just the last thing on that. Are they supposed to lose to bad teams?
King of canceling games. Who did we what game did we cancel?
Dude, it's like no.
You had a game
Inside the
against
end zone.
Virginia. You had a
I
series
gotcha.
against Virginia Tech. You canceled.
Oh
Michigan
man,
can't
you're
brag
right.
about beating bad teams.
That's about it that I can think of.
They can't. They absolutely can brag about being undefeated.
We did. We bragged when we beat Tennessee State, Navy, Central Michigan, and people. You haven't played nobody, including Michigan fans.
And that's
Michigan
what you're doing to
I
Michigan.
don't know. That's cool.
Whoa.
Antoine, I hope to God we play you guys soon.
No, you
I
don't.
hope to. Yes, I
promise
do.
you don't want
Because
to
we
play
will
us.
wipe the floor with
Booty
you.
cheeks.
No, you will not.
Hey, bro,
The
your
last time-
quarterback isn't good enough to beat us.
CJ Carr is.
CJ Carr is.
Oh,
He hasn't thrown a college pass
now
yet.
you're saying in a year or two time, not this year.
A man who hasn't thrown a college.
We would beat Michigan this year, but we can't play them this year.
Not.
Yes, we would.
Hey man. All right. What was the all right? So week 0 pick'em standings. Connor has caught Ryan. Probably
What are
because
how are
Ryan
the two games
made
going so
horrible
far? Because
decisions.
Hot takes.
I took Central Michigan and Akron. I know we had to put those picks in before.
I swear, me and Phil, we need to just do a fucking first take show. It's called the worst.
That's
take.
what this is.
That's
It's just a bunch
me
of hot
yelling
takes
at
that
each
you
other.
say. You say enough hot takes that we don't need to say anything anymore.
Yeah, it's just about
darn it.
debunking your ridiculous takes. That's what everybody else does.
Darn it.
It's not debunking because my takes always work out.
All
Look
right,
at the
I got
Kansas
updates. The Chippewas were successful in downing the Huskies. So CMU won
Like
and
Central
Toledo
Michigan.
also won.
No, we didn't do the Toledo game.
We
It was
didn't do the
Akron and
Toledo
somebody
game?
else.
Akron?
Yeah.
It was
Let me
Akron
find
and
I took Central Michigan. I took Central Michigan and whoever the team playing Akron was.
No, I took Akron.
Whoever the team played Akron.
I can't remember who it was.
Right. I sent you my pick'ems. I forget who it was.
Oh, I got it. Hold on.
Yeah.
So Lucas took NIU and Akron.
Oh, well, I mean, Akron plays tomorrow.
Oh,
What?
okay.
Wasn't there another? Or is that the only game?
That was. I thought it was
No,
a
no, no.
Tuesday game. That was
No,
on
no,
me.
no. There's Toledo Buffalo is the Tuesday game.
But we
okay.
didn't. I didn't have that in the pick'em. So
Okay, cool.
So yeah. So we just add who took. I kind of look for Phil's.
I took Central Michigan.
I took Central Michigan. Josh, who did you take?
I took Northern Illinois, man. I was trying to bank on some action, dude.
The Fuskies.
I think I took
Huskies.
NIU too. I took NIU.
Okay.
Okay, so Ryan and I get a point then.
And so did Lucas. Lucas took NIU too.
Oh, sweet. So we extend our lead.
So me and Lucas are just tied, or me and Connor are tied still.
Yes.
You couldn't fucking take NIU, Connor.
No, because I knew they were going to win after that all that bullshit with Connor Stallions on the sidelines.
Man, they were really butthurt about that, huh?
So
what if Connor Stallions was secretly feeding, like he felt bad for little Bronem, so he was secretly stealing signs for Michigan State?
he was at the Central Michigan State supposedly.
Yeah, I
season
know.
opening game. supposedly.
What if he was like
That's
he was
not him,
reading
bro.
the play sheet? What if he was
That's not
reading the
him.
play sheet for the Chippewas and was like, "All right, Chippewas are running a run here."
First off, we got. Oh, I just realized Phil's live from Michigan's CIA satellite office. I just finally saw that for the first time. Good job, Phil. We got TCU at Texas Tech. Texas Tech is actually a 3-point favorite. Should I still go first
Texas
though?
Tech. I
Connor.
chose Texas Tech.
Yeah, I guess. Well, last time I took Texas Tech during a night game in Lubbock, they lost. So give me TCU.
Go on and give me Texas Tech 34-28.
Ryan.
I'm going Texas Tech.
All right, we took Tech. Connor took TCU.
The Horny
Okay,
Frogs.
next we got Wake Forest at Duke. This is going to come up.
Woof. That's a spread.
That's a big ass spread. 12.5. Is that with or without Riley Leonard though? That's my question.
With Riley
Yeah.
Leonard.
Oh, he's back. He's going to be starting.
Yeah.
If he's starting, then yeah, give me Duke.
Yeah, I'll take Puke, and this one's gonna be 27-10.
I took Duke in this one. I'm trying to find my list, but yeah, I took Duke.
All right, yeah, I took Duke as well in this one.
And then, sorry, my computer's being slow. Ryan, you want to pull it up real quick?
Yeah, I got it. Boston College.
Surprising.
Somehow 5-3.
Yeah, surprising 5-3 versus a Syracuse team that has now lost 4 straight in the ACC.
Fun fact: Boston College is on a 4-game win streak.
And Syracuse Syracuse has not scored more than like 7 points. Oh, they've averaged under less than 8 points in these four.
So
in this
Boston College coming off a 4-game win streak. Syracuse is coming off a 4-game losing streak.
All right, I got this one. I'm taking BC. I know, surprise, surprise. It's gonna be a funky score. It's gonna be like 15-7.
15?
15-7.
Okay. Yeah, give me Boston College, Syracuse. After seeing that Thursday night game, they just look absolutely despondent and stuff. They were apparently by the end of the first quarter, like midway through the second quarter, they were already looking. The offensive line was already looking pissed. There were players just looking like absolutely despondent on the sidelines. They have completely lost all, I think, faith in this season. So yeah, give me Boston College.
Also, hold on 1 second. Antoine, it wasn't LSU, it was Bama. Bama won the COVID year.
Yeah. LSU was 2019.
Yeah. I'm also taking BC.
Yeah, give me the Eagles. I think Boston College gets it done at the Qs.
Okay.
Who did you take, Connor?
I took BC.
Okay, so Connor just needs that 1 point from TCU, and he needs the Horny Frogs to come in clutch.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that is it. Finally, Ryan's crazy rant and hot takes.
We call that
in this show. Honestly, we should just have you, Ryan, just spend an hour just saying all the crazy shit. It's just you by yourself in here for just an hour. Just talk about.
I could do it. I could totally do it.
Probably could.
Do it.
Totally could.
Dude,
Josh?
somehow I'd figure out to argue with myself.
I wouldn't be surprised. And it'd be
about
absolutely hilarious. It's like you're in your own like little padded cell in your solitary confinement or something. Josh,
You don't know how close I was to punching a wall today. It's been one of those days. And now I got to.
Well, you're gonna push the wall out.
After I get off this show, I got to
You're
go back to my. to my mentions, and I'm not joking, 50 plus Louisville fans in my mentions right now.
Yeah, because you're saying wild stuff about a game that they won.
So, Josh, you want to close us out with W real quick?
Yeah, let's talk about W.
W will help you not punch a wall.
No, that it'll help you punch through even further through the wall.
All right, guys.
Oh, you got the shaker.
I've always had the shaker. I got the shaker before I got the tub. But go to w.gg. That's w.gg. It is a powdered energy drink. No dyes, no sugar, none of that crap. It's really good. It's good for you. Use code week0 for 10% off your entire order at w.gg.
Cool. So we will be back on Thursday. Hopefully, we had a whole kerfuffle earlier about changing our format back to just being on Tuesdays, but we might keep it the way it is. We'll see. But Ryan definitely does need help. He needs therapy. He definitely needs some therapy. Ryan muted yourself. Ryan muted himself.
I need to go see Dr. Phil. That's what I need.
He does need to go see Dr.
You definitely do.
So for Dr. Phil / Connor loves filming practices. Peters.
That's what the CFP stands for.
Yeah. And also he's the chief head of the of Michigan CIA branch office.
Right.
For Josh, Forrest Gump Bryant. For Ryan, once shut up about Pitt and Louisville, and also Brian Kelly. I am a very happy VT man. We will see you back on Thursday for another stream.